I think Daniel did this. Let's see where Daniel is. Somebody get a hold of Daniel and tell him to log in here. I think he's working remotely because his office is flooded. Anyway, file number is 251229. Defendant is charged with operating with a high blood alcohol level. He had pled guilty to operating while intoxicated and possession of a firearm while under the influence. He's here with his lawyer, Mr. Tim George. Also present is Abigail Stoll from the prosecutor's office. She has a bit of a conflict in this case. The complainants in this case are her aunt and uncle.
Dan has that today. Peter says that.
All right, everything's in the file. I hope. All right. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this is a situation where facts are they're not great and they're just unusual. But I think Dan does provide some context to the court about some of the things that my client has gone through. As the court knows, my client is a veteran, has been plugged into VA services in the past. And I just asked him if he had been plugged into anything recently. He said no. So I think with the recommendation, it would allow some supervision, which I do think is appropriate, just to make sure that Mr. Conley is doing what he needs to do. But he does have the ability to plug into things that, the rest of us that haven't served aren't able to. And a lot of times they're able to get more specific treatment for the issues that they're dealing with. There's a lot of, things that individuals that have served in the military bring back just as part of their service. And I think that specific treatment would be beneficial for him. Overall, Your Honor, obviously this is a situation that I know Mr. Conley would like to take back if he could, but he can't. And he just needs to, come in front of the court. And I think he's prepared to take whatever this court is willing to give for a sentence. So we'd ask the court to adopt Mr. Freysign's recommendation. We think that it's appropriate. Thank you.
He's not here to address it further.
A man shows up at a stranger's house completely drunk 0.228 BAC with a loaded Sig Sauer and a round in the chamber. He drives over their retaining wall, walks around the property, looks in windows, and bangs on the door. The judge snaps, "These people were terrified somebody could have shot you." Then the sentence hits 10 days jail with weekends to serve, probation, no alcohol, treatment through the VA, and a strict no-contact order because this wasn't random, it was dangerous.
Ms. Stoll, what's your position here?
Thank you, Your Honor. I agree that the facts in this case are bad. They're pretty strange. The defendant showed up at the witness's house very intoxicated. His BAC was a .228. He had a loaded gun in his truck. There was a round in the chamber. He'd also cut himself on some glass that was covering the basement egress window. So who knows what he was doing around their house. They say that they don't know him, that he's shown up at their house a few times, but I would recommend at least 10 days in jail, as well as some probation. It's clear that he has some mental health issues and some alcohol abuse issues.
Mr. I talked about the vagaries of randomness. The first lady, I don't know if you were here yet, she got her face smashed through a plate glass window by a man with mental health problems. It was improperly released from the jail. Second guy almost hit and killed a truck driver who just happened to be driving down 131 northbound on a Tuesday in October. These people live out in the country on Custer Road, and for reasons I don't understand, you believe you know them. And this is scary stuff. The wrong house, you'd have got shot. You show up at their house drunk, drive your car over their retaining wall, your truck, and hang it up. You got an unregistered Sig Sauer in your damn pocket, 2 magazines, the thing's loaded, there's a round in the chamber. You have a CPL, but this gun isn't registered. You get out of the truck, walk around their house, looking in the windows, banging on the door. You stepped on the plexiglass cover over a basement egress window and fell into it because you were standing on it looking in the windows of the house. These people are terrified. You were there on Mother's Day. You were there on Father's Day. This was June 26th. I'm disappointed, and you were a 228. That you haven't recently sought any veteran treatment. You, I think, had been in
I was told that I can't seek inpatient treatment until all cases are dropped, or not dropped, but handled.
completed.
Yeah.
Are you still seeing Lisa?
I've seen her twice. I haven't seen her since. My probation officer has recommended to me that I start seeing her again.
A man shows up at a stranger's house completely drunk 0.228 BAC with a loaded Sig Sauer and a round in the chamber. He drives over their retaining wall, walks around the property, looks in windows, and bangs on the door. The judge snaps. These people were terrified somebody could have shot you. Then the sentence hits 10 days jail with weekends to serve, probation, no alcohol, treatment through the VA, and a strict no contact order because this wasn't random, it was dangerous.
You got, quote unquote, your drinking under control. No, you don't. I don't know what you were doing with this gun. And
I just, like you said, I have a CPL. I just standard was carried every day.
but you're not
Shouldn't
supposed
have
to
been.
carry it when you have a 228 blood alcohol level. Also, it isn't registered. I don't know where it came from.
I bought it. I just didn't register it with the county. Bought it from the store.
All right, what do you want me to know?
As just mentioned, I do, I 100% service connected permanent total for TBI with that delusions.
How did you get your brain injury?
Head wound,
From what?
football?
All right, that was in high school?
No, in the Marine Corps.
All right, so you were in the Marine Corps and you were injured in a football game.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
What else?
Well, you were telling me about what's going on in your life.
Part of the service connected disabilities is delusions. So, I think that's probably what's more happening here. And I have gotten my drinking under control since, but I few lapses just after the incident, but I have since gotten it under control. And drinking didn't help, that's for sure.
Have you worked since you got out of the service?
No, sir. Just school.
What kind of school?
I've attended a couple different schools, unable to maintain and stick it through. So I just stopped trying. Was just building up education debt through the VA.
Do you get a medical disability payment?
I do 100% permanent total.
From the military?
Yeah.
What happened to your truck?
It got impounded.
How much it cost you to get it out?
500.
Was it broken?
No, sir.
Now, this wasn't the first time you'd been to these people's house. Are you over this delusion that you somehow know these people?
I am, sir. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was drinking and that really induced the problem far worse.
Charge of possession of a firearm while intoxicated. On order 1 day jail credit, 1 day. Who do you live with?
By myself, sir.
Do you have any pets?
I have a cat.
Fine on that one is 0. Firearm and magazines are forfeited. Law requires that. State police will destroy that gun. All right, on the other charge, there's a $300 fine, a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $100 screening fee, attorney fee of $150, $480 probation oversight fee, $200 reimbursement to the sheriff's department. He didn't recommend a victim impact payment. I'm gonna order 10 days jail, credit 1, giving 9 days to serve. Of the 9 days, 5 are deferred. You got 2 weekends to do in jail. Scaring the hell out of these people. I know people that would have shot you. In the victim impact panel. It's $32. No drugs and no alcohol. Participate in treatment, including VA. You don't have your drinking under control. You don't just turn it on and off like a switch. You've got a traumatic brain injury, which affects your judgment and cognition. You don't say, well, I got under control. I'm holding my breath. I have to breathe again, and then I drink again. And when you do drink, it's a binge. You'd have no contact with the stoles, or you'll end up doing 93 days in jail. No drugs, no alcohol, substance abuse counseling and treatment is directed. Participate in treatment with the VA, including VA, and sign a release. The victim impact panel. I didn't add all that up. Let's try that. 300 plus 125 plus 100 plus 150 attorney fee plus 480 probation oversight fee, $200 police reimbursement, and a $32 cost of the victim impact panel, which is $1,387. Drinking, driving is expensive. I think we got $500 of bond in here also. It's a $5,000 bond, so $450 of it can be applied to fine and costs. You owe $937 in 1 year. Theoretically, they could have the discretion to discharge you after 6 months. Daniel, our probation agent, isn't here. Said he was sick, but I'm going to send you out to the counter. He's going to schedule when you're going to do those jail days. I thought about just doing it right now, but you got things going on, and I'm going to do a supervised probation. I put the other gentleman in right now because I'm not going to put him on probation. Plus, he almost killed somebody. All right, I'm serious. If you go back to the Stoll's house, I'm going to violate your probation and just lock you up. Leave those people alone. They don't have anything to do with you. You're working on your other issues. And I'd like to think we can get your substance abuse problem under control, but it ain't going to be by not doing anything about it. So you go out with a court officer and probation clerks out of the front counter will hopefully give you some advice on what to do next. All right, now we got Mr. Gibson's cases. Thank you. As I indicated, we're way behind schedule, but let's start with Clayton Carr. This is file number 252521, People versus Clayton Carr. Mr. Carr is present. He's charged with interfering with a crime report and domestic assault. He's here with his lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. He pled to those charges and the matter set for sentencing today. He has 1 day of jail credit. My notes indicate that the prosecutor did not object to a deferral in this case. Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know?
Shortly after I believe the defendant was arrested, I was contacted by the defendant, and I was also contacted by the alleged victim. The no contact bond was an inconvenience for the defendant. It required him to have to find a new place to live. And that's the kind of thing I think that kind of really sends a message to the defendant when something like this happens, that this is serious. This isn't just, this is real. This is a criminal case. This is serious business. And that's why those no contact orders exist. And so I think that the defendant in this case, it's my understanding he's got a full-time job. He's hoping to put this incident behind him. When something like this happens, I think people just wish that they could make it go away, but they can't just make it go away, and they have to deal with it, and it takes time. And so that's why, it's taken us about a month to get to this point. But I think the defendant's learned a lesson here. I think that if he has an issue with alcohol, hopefully that he could get help for any alcohol problem. I don't think that alcohol helped in this situation. I think it contributed to both parties conduct. And so I'm asking the court to consider fines and costs, community service, or probation as a sentence. Thank you.
Ms. Stoll, what's your thought here?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe in this case, fines and costs are likely appropriate. But my notes also reflect that he is getting the deferral. So this would be a good opportunity for him to sort of get his affairs in order and learn from his mistakes.
Well, that would be a good thing.
He claims delusions from a traumatic brain injury, but the judge focuses on the reality. Alcohol plus firearm plus the wrong house. You're not supposed to carry when you're at .228. The gun gets forfeited, the fines stack up, and the judge calls it what it is: binge drinking that flips everything into chaos. The order is clear: jail weekends, probation, no alcohol treatment, and absolutely no contact with the terrified homeowners.
All right, on the interfering with the crime report, or 1 day jail credit, 1 day. I'm gonna do the probation and the domestic violence charge. That charge is gonna go on your record. That's not deferred. Mr. Carr, is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Yeah, I realized I made a mistake and I'm just trying to move past it, and I don't drink like that. That's not me at all. It was influenced by my significant other at the time, and I'm moving on from that, trying to better myself.
You say at the time, so you're not with Taylor Hall anymore?
But we have no contact. I don't plan on trying to be back with her. I just want to put this in the past, and
But you don't have any children together?
no, we don't.
All right, well, they wanted me to lift the no contact provision as well, and they didn't provide any additional information. I'm gonna follow the recommendation for the deferral. I'm gonna do a 12-month deferral. I have to put you on probation to do the deferral. 11 days jail credit 1 of the 10 days ordered, of the 11 days ordered. 10 are deferred. There's a $125 fine, a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, $480 probation oversight fee, and you're to pay for the class. Where are you working?
I work at a plastic factories in Sturgis. It's called Carter's Associates.
Right. Let's add this up, 250 plus 150 plus 480, 880. I believe you posted $600 of bond. Again, it was a 10% bond, so 600 minus $60 is $540. Leaves $340. You're gonna do the domestic violence anger management class. No drugs, no alcohol, test as directed. No assaultive or threatening behavior. The no contact provision is lifted. So if you want to talk to him, you can. But at this point, I guess you've moved on, and maybe that's for the best. Are you on probation or parole anywhere else?
No, sir.
Have you ever been previously convicted of any assault charge?
No, sir.
All right, again, our probation department's a bit disrupted with the flood. I'm gonna send you out with the court officer. I'll start on probation. Theoretically, you could be discharged from this probation at the end of 6 months if you successfully complete it. But the probation is up to a year if we need it.
Imagine hearing banging at your door late at night, and outside is a man you don't know, drunk, armed, and staring through your windows. That's what happened here. The judge lists every detail: truck over the wall, gun loaded, round chambered, and says, "I know people that would have shot you." He gives jail time, probation, and treatment, then delivers the final warning, leave those people alone where you'll do 93 days.
Or the court officer take you out to the counter. If you hold up your end of the deal, the domestic assault charge will be taken off your record and won't be a public record of that conviction.
Thank you.
All right. You're good.
Have a
to
great
go.
day.
All right, thank you.